I got you, boo. I'll give you the email before that to help you understand why he was yelling. This is in reference to Nick Godejohn and his letter that I believe is very damning to him. And people are saying, well, what was the letter that provoked him? First of all, if you can be provoked into talking about you're going to somebody, there's an issue. I don't care how mad I get. If I've already unalived somebody, I'm sure as hell not going to talk about doing it again, especially when you have appeals going on. But we'll go into the email that caused him to have this particular response. And as for him being manipulated, if you can be manipulated into this, there's a problem. And it's insulting to people who are autistic or low IQ to make it seem like people cannot actually have their own response, that they're too stifled in their abilities to actually have a response. It's demeaning. At 3:10 that morning, so this is what he woke up to. This is what it says. It's in all caps for about 3/4 of it. So it is in all caps. You do not know what you are talking about. These women are effing liars. I have proof that they said that they were going to stop us from being friends and together, and you're letting them. I don't understand. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs to you right now with my soul wide open before you. You're letting you're letting go of the best thing we ever had, Nick. I will marry you right now to prove I am not with anyone. What do you want me to do to prove to you? I love you, and I loved you the day that I saw your face in interrogation. I bawled my eyes out. I know you are my twin flame, my soulmate. You said you read people, right? You're never wrong. Then why did you say we are soulmates? Because you know we are. You're afraid. I get that, but don't listen to these people, Nick. Your dad is even lying, Nick, telling people he never told people that you were sharing your emails. You know he did, Nick. He told you about the Spencer girl. Nick, none of them want us together, man. I'm so broken and hurt and in so much emotional pain. I never fell so hard and so deeply in love like this before. They were referencing the fact of going back and forth of people trying to split them up. So she sends him this heartfelt response in caps, talking about how hurt she is and how much she wants to prove to him how much she loves him. And it elicited a response that I read in the previous video. Now you guys can talk about fancy infiltrating and the infiltration and the infiltration and the infiltration all you want. The proof of everything that is going on right here is, number one, Dawn was already writing to him in April. I have every email that is available, and she was writing to Nick in April. She didn't start talking to April, fancy, until after she was already talking to Nick. And there's screenshots. Brandy's shown them where Fancy says, did I send you in? And she says no. But then she says, you had me say things. Dawn was already writing him prior to this. Now, if they were trying to get stuff out of him later, okay, I understand. And I'm not going to argue whether or not people manipulated Dawn into manipulating Nick. Where I am going with this is Dawn was already messaging Nick, number one. Number two, that particular email that she sent him was not worth him going on about unaliving another person at someone else's expense. And number three, and the most important, is I don't care what they were arguing about. I don't care who was manipulating who. There is zero reason that this man, number one, said that he was going to alive another person because of what another person said to him. And in a second email say, and I meant it. This is not a person who is stable enough to be outside with the populace. If he can get that upset and talk about taking another life because he's angry, you know what? I have a plan. For everybody who says that that's perfectly acceptable, I want you to let him move in with you. With your kids, with yourself, with your spouse. And then tell me that you feel perfectly safe knowing that, number one, he alived somebody, that he was manipulated into it, that he wrote an email talking about unaliving somebody again, and that he was manipulated into it. Because all that tells me is he can't think for himself when it comes to times that he is angry. So there's the email prior to the one that he had, so, because people were saying, well, we don't know what was said. We don't know what was said. Now you know what was said, and so now you can take from that whatever you want. I'm not here to change minds. I'm here to inform the people that are backing this with absolutely no know-how of what was going on. This is not a person who is safe to be on the streets. I'm sorry he's in a place. I'm sorry that he has autism. I'm sorry that he has a low IQ. And I'm sorry that he took somebody's life for absolutely no reason. But he took a life. He's where he belongs. End of story, in my opinion.